Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on our workshop, Why Be an OCA Member, as part of our chapter advancement track for this year's National Virtual Summit. So the purpose of this workshop is to give folks an understanding of the many benefits that come along with being part of the OCA family. Whether you're a member already or not, you'll find reasons to become an OCA member or encourage others to do so. My name is Lady Marie Balilan. I'm OCA National Senior Chapter and Membership Development Associate. I'm the main liaison between OCA chapters throughout the country and our national headquarters based in DC. It's a pleasure to be speaking for all of you today, and let's get started with our introduction to OCA Asian Pacific American Advocates. So to start us off, let's go over what we're going to talk about in this workshop. First, we'll go over what OCA is, its history, and two particular moments that OCA has been a part of in Asian American Pacific Islander history. Then we'll be going over our platforms on policy and advocacy. Next, we will be talking about the many programs that OCA National offers for members, students, and professionals to grow as leaders and advocates for the AAPI community. Then we'll talk about what you, the viewers, OCA member or not, can do to support OCA. And after that, we'll go over the various extent of OCA member benefits by our VP of Membership Services, Greg Jung. And lastly, we'll hear some words from our very own members that have their own special experiences of being part of the OCA family. So here we have our mission. Previously known as the Organization of Chinese Americans and founded by K.L. Wong and Alex Mark in 1973, OCA Asian Pacific American Advocates is a nonprofit membership-driven organization that aims to advance the social, political, and economic well-being of the Asian Pacific American community in the U.S. Here at OCA, we look to advocate for social justice, equal opportunity, and fair treatment. We also look to promote civic participation, education, and leadership. We want to advance coalitions and community building, and we want to foster cultural heritage. So, OCA National is consisted of these four main parts. The first being our OCA chapters and members. In addition to over 50 chapters and affiliates across the country, OCA programs touches over tens of thousands of individuals through community outreach and initiatives. The next is the OCA National Center, which is based in Washington, D.C. OCA National Center staff run programs, conduct policy and advocacy work, and support OCA chapters nationwide. After that is our Business Advisory Council, which consists of OCA's corporate sponsors who sit on this council. And lastly is our Executive Council. They are responsible for the implementation of policies and programs and is the executive body of the National Board. So let's start going through the extensive history of OCA. To start off, this year we are celebrating 48 years with OCA actively advocating for the AAPI community. OCA began as 3 founding chapters coming out of DC, with the Chinese American Leadership Council, Detroit's Association of Chinese Americans, and St. Louis's League of Chinese Americans. 4 years later, OCA Woman, or OCAW, broke off as an affiliate from OCA in 1977. And in 2013, OCA rebranded to OCA Asian Pacific American Advocates to support the Pan-Asian community throughout the country. One very significant moment in OCA history would be our involvement with the 1982 Vincent Chin case. Vincent Chin was a young Chinese American man that was brutally beaten with a bat on June 19, 1982 by Ronald Evans and Michael Nitz, two white laid off auto workers who were frustrated with America's failing auto industry in competition with Japan's. Assuming he was Japanese, these two perpetrators attacked and murdered Vincent Chin and ended up serving no jail time. His unjust death and their feathered punishment sparked outrage in the AAPI community, especially since the civil rights movement was at its peak. It brought light to the dire need for representation of the AAPI experience in our justice system. Roland Wong, who at the time was a member of the Detroit chapter of OCA, also served as an attorney on the Vincent Chin case. He still serves as our VP of Public Affairs on a national board today. Another important point in OCA history would be the birth of AAPI Heritage Month in 1978. Jeannie F. Jew, a Capitol Hill staffer and OCA board member at the time, thought of the month of May to commemorate the immigration of the first Japanese people to the U.S. on May 7, 1843, and to mark the anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad on May 10, 1869. On October 5, 1978, President Jimmy Carter signed a joint resolution that designated the annual celebration to be for the first 10 days of May as a week. Later on, President George Bush extended the celebration to be a month long. So on this slide, we have some of our corporate sponsors that belong to our Business Advisory Council, or BAC. These sponsors have created a relationship with us at OCA to fund and support our initiatives, programs, and various causes. A good number of these corporations also have committed themselves to consideration and representation for the AAPI community within their businesses with our tools and programs. Now, on this map, we have our numerous OCA chapters throughout the country. As you can see, we are well spread out, as well as having some close to each other. Each chapter has their own initiatives to support their local AAPI communities in different ways. If any of you are not members of these chapters but would like to be, feel free to contact me and I can connect you with them. Next, we will talk about OCA's platforms regarding policy and advocacy. First off, in order to maintain America's legacy as a place of refuge and equality, we must adopt measures to empty the backlog of visa applications, protect family immigration, and create clean, direct pathways to citizenship. In terms of education, OCA believes that our public and private education systems must see equitable access as well as AAPI representation in curriculum. In addition, there is a critical need for resources and recognition for Asian American, Native American, and Pacific Islander serving institutions, which bolster enrollment and retention for low-income AAPIs. On race, equity, inclusion, as AAPIs continue to be the victims of hate incidents and racial profiling, we must continue to fight uncompromisingly against hate speech, xenophobia, Islamophobia, and discrimination. And lastly, OCA's platform on workforce development and technology, AAPIs of all ages and places deserve equitable access to technology, as well as inclusive workforce development and career pipeline opportunities. Let's start getting into the many programs that OCA National offers. These are our youth programs. To start, APAY Advocate is a half-day interactive training for high school youth that engages them in activities that will help them develop leadership skills, discuss the importance of advocacy, and investigate concepts surrounding AAPI identity. Next is APIAU Leadership, which is an interactive college leadership training program that focuses on self-awareness, team building, and direct action organizing. Participants will be asked to challenge themselves, share their experiences, and develop leadership tools in order to effectively serve as catalysts for change. Lastly, we have our OCA internship that has been going on for 32 years now. OCA national interns can be placed internally or if during the summer internship at other organizations. In these internships, they cultivate their future leadership skills in the AAPI community. If you have any questions about our youth programs, feel free to reach out to Kent Tong, our Associate Manager of Programs. Now we will talk about our professional programs at OCA National. The first one we will talk about is MAP, or Mentoring Asian American Professionals. The program provides the foundation for an effective and valuable mentoring relationship, as well as guided group mentoring sessions designed to help participants achieve their highest professional and personal goals. Next is B3, or Build, Breakthrough, and Believe, professional development. The goal of this program is to provide relevant professional development, peer networking, and mentoring to aspiring AAPI professionals. Build, Breakthrough, Believe is the three-word mantra of the B3 program and is used as building blocks for the event agenda. And lastly is the Women's Initiative. This is a half-day professional and leadership development summit specifically designed for AAPI women, bringing together aspiring leaders and experienced professionals. The summits are designed to help AAPI women from various regions, sectors, and careers develop their highest professional and personal potential. If you're interested in these programs, be sure to contact Jay Shim, our Senior Program Associate. Next is our annual JCL, or Japanese American Citizenship League / OCA Leadership Summit, which is a 3-day, 3-night intensive civil rights and advocacy seminar. It's designed to train 15 OCA and 15 JCL members in foundational and advanced advocacy strategies. Participants will have the opportunity to engage with and learn from members of Congress, the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus, administration officials, government agencies, as well as partner organizations in the Washington, D.C. social justice community. Finally, let's talk about what you, the audience, our viewers, can do to be a part of the OCA family as members. So first off, be a member. Becoming a member is an incredible opportunity to engage in your community and strengthen our collective power. Next is to get involved with your local chapter. Take ownership of events, projects, and local initiatives that build your local AAPI community via the OCA chapter. Next would be to donate. Your tax-deductible donations help us continue to do our work in the community. Donate directly to OCA on our national website, through mail, or even on Amazon by shopping with Amazon Smile and choosing OCA, or sponsoring events, programs, and activities. Next would be bringing OCA national programs to your chapter or area. This will help cultivate strong leaders for your local AAPI community. And lastly is to vote for AAPI representation in your local government. Being at the table is a huge part of bringing our experiences and our perspectives to the government and knowing how important it is that our stories are known. And so, with that being said, I'm going to pass it on to our VP of Membership Services, Greg Jung, to talk about our extensive list of membership benefits for being an OCA member. Thank you.
Thanks, Lady. Well, hello, everyone. This is Greg Jung, OCA National EC, and I'm currently VP of Membership Services. I'm glad that you joined us tonight. And what I wanted to share with you are some enhancements that we have made for our membership benefits for our members, whether they're new to OCA or existing members. So if you give me a minute, I'm going to share a screen and I'm going to get us to our OCA webpage. So I highly recommend that you go to our OCA webpage. And it's going to be membership benefits. And right now, as a member of OCA, we have two corporate partners. We have UPS, who's been a long-standing partner with OCA. And if you become a member of OCA or are a member of OCA, you can receive a savings of the 28% off UPS Air and International Express, and up to 14% off UPS Ground. So again, we want to thank UPS for being a partner with us for all these years. And as a member of OCA, you'll receive some significant cost savings. Another enhancement that we have made to our membership benefits, and this is because of the great partnership that we have with AARP, another long-standing corporate sponsor, and mentor of OCA. And so with becoming a member of OCA, you can also become a member of AARP. And what I'm going to show you right now is the membership discount with AARP. This is only to OCA, but it's a one-time payment, a 2-year membership of only $20. And significant cost savings with AARP. What I learned, big aha for me, is that when I turned 50 years old, I joined AARP. But what I come to find out is that you do not have to be 50 years old to apply and to be accepted as a member. Anyone at any age can join and be a member of AARP. And we highly recommend it because there are a lot of benefits and discounts that you can receive as a member. And I just want to go over them with you briefly. Again, this is all on our OCA National members page. So some of the discounts available: travel. Becoming an AARP member, you can receive discounts with Avis, Budget, Payless, Zipcar. Travel, British Airways. Travel agencies, hotels with Best Western, Choice Hotels, Hilton, Wyndham, and so forth. And then there's health and wellness benefits that you'll be eligible for as an AARP member. And entertainment with Ancestry.com, Audible, which for me is invaluable. Restaurants, discounts, Bonefish Grill, Bubba Gump, Outback, Rainforest Cafe. Shopping. And insurance benefits that are being offered and financial services benefits. So again, great benefits that are offered with AARP. And again, if you apply here, it's $20 for 2 years. So please go to the website, check out the membership benefits, the enhanced partnership that we have with AARP, and also to the discounts that you'll receive through APS. So at this time, I want to share a TikTok video.
What's something really important that you should have been taught in school, but you weren't?
Zach here. I wish they taught me that you don't have to be over 50 to join AARP. Say what? I know. I would have saved so much money. Let me show you. There's my membership card. I've been a member for 7 years. Joined when I was 34 years old. Dedicated to those over 50, but no minimum age, $12 a year. Here's where I've saved the most. If you fly British Airways, you get $65 off economy and premium economy and $200 off business class. Saved loads doing this. Any other savings, Zach? Baby, I got you. Multiple restaurants. You get between 10 and 25% off your check. You'll save on car rentals. You got up to 30% off Avis. All of these hotels. Hilton at Disney, AARP. The normal rates, AARP. It's $100 right there. Like 8 years of membership fees. Wow, I see you got an AARP discount here. I moisturize.
Now, I've had an opportunity to review with our national website of the benefits, discounts provided for our OCA members nationwide. But it's really important to check with your local chapter because there are many chapters around the country that are providing discounts, retail discounts, restaurant discounts for their local members. So when you go to the website or you visit with an OCA local chapter representative, ask them by becoming a member of your regional local chapter, what discounts, benefits are you providing? And again, we have some really great ones out there. For example, tuition with universities, restaurants, grocery stores, and corporate sponsors. So again, wonderful benefits, not only from a national perspective, but also local. Well, thanks for joining us again this evening um, with our national staff and our executive council. We look forward for your participation in our virtual summit. We have great programming for the next 2 days. So again, thank you very much for joining us. And again, go to our OCA National website, membership benefits. We hope that you can take advantage of them. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
How did I first find out about OCA? It was through K.L. Wong, the founder of OCA. Back in November 1971, K.L. Wong made a trip to Detroit to pitch a National Chinese Leadership Council to 35 people gathered at the Bloomfield Hunt Club. And he wanted the people in Detroit to take the lead. In March 1972, Alex Mark was elected the first president of the chapter, a founding chapter of OCA, and Alex Mark was recognized as a co-founder of OCA. And then in June 1973, OCA was formally founded with Detroit as one of 3 founding chapters.
I found out about OCA National, I guess I should say, through my involvement with the Utah chapter. I'm from the state of Utah, and I wanted to get involved in my community. I'm a student organizer on campus, and I wanted to reach out for more resources and get involved with our Asian and Pacific Islander community. So that's when I found out about OCA Utah, and I got involved in this chapter, in the local chapter, attending workshops and going to all of their different events. And I think it was Emilio who last minute messaged me to apply for the OCA National internship. I know the deadline was coming up, and so Emilio and I, we were trying to race to get things together because we both thought it would be a good opportunity for me to immerse myself in AAPI. So that is how I first found out about OCA, is from my involvement with the local Utah chapter.
How has OCA affected my life and AAPI experience? I was recruited by the chapter to join its board back in 1982. And so I served as president in 1982 and 1983. It was in 1983 when the Vincent Chin case hit the headlines, the beating death of Vincent Chin. And with that became a dedication to civil rights that continues to this day, with appointments to the hearing office as a hearing referee for the Department of Civil Rights, and to join the State Advisory Committee in Michigan, the State Advisory Committee of the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights, and to teach Asian American history. And so all of that really culminated from the beginning of the Vincent Chin case and my stint as chapter president of OCA Detroit.
Being involved with the OCA National and just OCA in general, with the local chapter and national, it's really, I always say OCA is my community outside of student organizing. I think I've always found myself in academia and the education system, trying to organize around student organize around that, whereas when I got involved with OCA Utah and just with OCA, I really found my community growing up in the state of Utah, where majority of people are white, and I live in a pretty conservative area, but all of the OCA Utah workshops and meetings, and again, just the people that I've met through OCA have really been there to support me through my academics, through my personal struggles, and so many other things. And I think coming to this internship, being part of the summer 2020 cohort, like amplified like that community, that collective feeling of, you know, support and care, where I was nervous. I was nervous coming into the internship because so many other people in the cohort all came from really just like amazing backgrounds, you know, whether they are from a top tier school, university, or just really incredible histories and backgrounds. And I was feeling a little bit of imposter syndrome, but they really allowed me to find peace with, you know, community and peace with myself.
Why stay with OCA? It's an organization that has a national structure with involvement in public affairs, but also has local chapters, and with that, a connection to the grassroots in the Asian American community.
Kind of in the aforementioned questions, all of those experiences, like collective support, collective community, and just really being around other people who looked like me, who shared same values as me, who were interested and passionate about all of the other things, you know, like-minded people. I think that really brought me to stay with OCA, but I also think that because I have grown up in a community where I have always been, you know, the only, or I guess I should say few of the brown people in the space or in the room, black or brown person in the room, OCA provided that space where I could interact and engage with other black and brown folks who are like-minded and share similar passions and interests. And so OCA was a really great way for me to not only network within the state of Utah, within my state, but also network with others abroad. My placement with the internship, I was working with people in Africa, Latin America, and Asia, and I don't think I could have gotten that experience elsewhere if it weren't for OCA. So really just the community is what made me want to continue you know, advocating and being with OCA, both Utah chapter and supporting the national organization.
So what are my experiences that resonate in terms of OCA? What I observe is leadership growth. Individuals rising from the position of executive director to move on to positions of influence elsewhere. I recall Daphne Kwok, an executive director of OCA, who moved on to be a major force with the White House Initiative on Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, and then to move on to be a vice president of AARP. And I remember Christine Chen, another executive director of OCA, who has moved on to lead APIA Vote. So my experiences, my observations of OCA has been as an observer to leadership growth within OCA.
There was a little like back and forth of, you know, we might be in person, we might be virtual. Obviously it ended up all being virtual, but I think that virtual internship experience was both exciting, overwhelming, I don't know other words to use, but I think this internship experience was unlike any other, I would say, had I experienced something in person, or had I experienced this internship in person, I think it would have gone a lot more differently, for better or for worse. But I think that being in the same space as others physically and not virtually really shifted and changed that OCA experience. And so we were, as a cohort, we really wanted to make it a focus, to bond with each other and just really connect with everyone, because again, our internship was at a time where there was so much social uprising, there still is, and also in the transition period of the pandemic of working from home, classes being virtual, and now the OCA internship being virtual. So that was really something that stood out to me. But I think another OCA experience that spoke to me, or that just really a memory that I just remember, is a lot of our cohort had birthdays over the course of the internship, and so whenever we had our calls, or whenever we got together for our little cohort hangouts, all of us would just uncoordinatedly sing happy birthday to whomever's birthday it was, and the lag in everyone's video connection and audio was just very both heartwarming and funny at the same time, because people would be singing faster or singing slower. That is something that is memorable to me.
Hello, I'm Congressmember Judy Chu, and as chair of the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus, I want to tell you why being a member of OCA matters. There was a time when the voices of Asian Americans were ignored. Because of that, Congress passed the Discriminatory Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, the only bill in history to single out an ethnic group for exclusion from immigration. Japanese Americans were imprisoned in camps during World War II, and Vincent Chin's murderers, 2 unemployed auto workers who mistook him for being Japanese, were let off with no jail time by a judge who did not value Vincent's life. That is why it was so important for OCA to form, to be a strong voice for those who had not been heard, and to fight for the civil rights of Chinese Americans and all Asian Americans in this country. It is because of this need for a national voice that when OCA was founded, I said, finally. Of course I joined and worked together with OCA on so many issues for equality and justice. In fact, soon after my election to Congress, OCA was one of the national groups that came to me to say the Chinese Exclusion Act was one of the most discriminatory laws ever passed by Congress, depriving the Chinese of civil rights for 60 years. And yet the U.S. has never apologized for it. Will you lead that effort? I said yes. For 2 years, we worked side by side on getting the support in Congress for it. And OCA was instrumental, meeting with representatives from places like New Mexico, Texas, and Oregon who'd never heard of this act. And finally, in 2011 and 2012, the Senate and then the House unanimously passed the bill expressing regret for the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. But I couldn't have done it without OCA. And then there was the issue of military hazing. I was affected personally when my nephew, Lance Corporal Marine Harry Liu, died a victim of it. One terrible night in Afghanistan, fellow soldiers kicked, punched, and stomped on him for hours, nearly smothering him with the contents of a sandbag. Harry then took his own life at 21 years old. But I soon found out that Harry was only the tip of the iceberg. Army Private Danny Chen had been tortured for weeks by more senior soldiers. They attacked and brutalized him continuously while calling him Dragon Lady, Gook, or Chink. Finally, Danny could take it no longer and killed himself. I was shocked and stunned, But fortunately, I did not have to stand up and fight alone. Immediately, OCA took action and denounced this horrific behavior by our military. Together, we worked to pass amendments to the National Defense Authorization Act to require reports on hazing in the military and on what the branches are doing to address it. These reports were the first of their kind, laying the groundwork for greater accountability in the military for policies, data collection, and training on hazing. But it is something that could not have been started without OCA. But this year was the most difficult one of all. AAPIs faced a horrific spike in anti-Asian hate crimes that included attacks on the elderly and the murder of 6 Asian women in Georgia. There were over 7,500 anti-Asian hate crimes and incidents due to misinformation and xenophobia from the coronavirus, egged on by President Trump's usage of the terms China virus and Kung flu. I decided to lead the national effort to fight this with press conferences, statements, hearings, and legislation. And OCA was there once again. OCA was in the forefront of speaking out against these crimes from the very beginning and had its own hate crime reporting site. Because of this kind of advocacy, the whole nation woke up and joined in the effort to stop Asian hate. OCA has shaped my life and the Asian American community for the better. I'm so thankful that we have this effective national group looking out for us and fighting on our behalf. I'm a proud member, and I encourage everybody to join this great organization.